Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we're going to go through different samples and see if any of these are worth buying or not. So as you obviously know, I do fragrance reviews and I specialize in them, and that's my kind of forte and niche. If you don't know about me, I used to work as an educational person for Christian Dior and then very briefly for Chanel. I also did a lot of freelance work for a lot of different brands like Tom Ford, Yves Saint Laurent, Armani, and a lot more that I don't feel like mentioning right now. But I have obviously collected a ton of samples since starting my YouTube journey, and I gather them all here in this little Celine pouch. I also have some other ones that just came here through Bloomingdale's, and we're gonna go through these to see what I think of them, if any of these are worth purchasing or if they're not. So I stuck my hand in here, oh God, and I have quite a few of them here. We're gonna go through them to see, what we think of each one of them. So the first one we have is from Hermes, and it is called H24. This is a new one. It's called the Hermes Vives, Herbes Eve, but it's essentially an herb fragrance. The notes that it lists for this are going to be a registered trademark, so it's not a natural ingredient, but it's called Fiscal, and it's a registered trademark. It says herbs and also pear sorbet. This fragrance gives you a very green apple type of vibe. It's fresh, it's zesty. It reminds you a lot of Eau de Basilic Purple by Hermes as well. It's part of their cologne range. I think there's basil in here, and it might be the same basil that's in that fragrance. At least in my opinion, it smells very similar to that. This is part of the men's range, and I know that the eau de colognes are unisex technically. I do like it. I'd have to wear it a little bit longer, but I did test it a little bit last night to prepare for this video, and let me just spray it on the card again to make sure. It's very heavy on that pear, and it kind of gives you a green apple type of vibe as well. Very nice fragrance, I have to say, but I don't want to say this because I love Hermes as a fragrance brand. Kind of leans into, to me, apple and pear in fragrances is very hard to, get down very well. And a lot of times, and this is a problem with me with a brand, Bond Number 9, I tend to use this note quite a lot, and it kind of gives off car refresher vibes. I know, don't get mad at me. That's just what it gives and reminds me of, because obviously everyone's biggest trigger of memories is going to be scent, and that's just what that reminds me of. I don't know. It's a nice one. I did get the dry down, and the dry down is very, very good. It's very soft and subdued, but fresh, and also still green and herbal and aromatic. So I do like the scent. I do think it's a nice addition. If you are a fan of H24, you're gonna like this one because it's adding something different that you don't already have in your collection. Next one I have here is this guy. This is a brand by Alberto Morias, I believe. He's a very talented perfumer. He has done Acqua di Gio and quite a few other iconic fragrances. And this is his range. It's called Mizensir Parfums. I don't know. And this one is called Tonic Water. I don't want to be negative. I really don't. It doesn't stink. I'll start off there. It doesn't smell bad. It smells fairly decent. It smells fairly good. To me, there's a fragrance in particular, and I suffer with migraines as a person already individually. Fragrance is not typically one of my triggers for migraines, but there's one fragrance out there that literally turns my stomach, and that is Eden Rock by Christian Dior. And I think it's because of the synthetic mineral note component in that fragrance. This fragrance is very synthetic note heavy. It's pricey too. Let me get the notes here. The top notes for this are going to be Sichuan pepper and cardamom. Our heart notes are going to be Coach Lux, Ambrox, which is a synthetic component. Both of those are synthetic actually. And Seta Lux, trademark register. And then in the base, we're going to get vanilla, cypriol, frankincense, resin, and another note that is a synthetic component that I can't pronounce either. It does give you what it's giving you the vibe of, which is that very tonic-y water, by the seaside, mineral notes kind of coming through. It reminds me a lot of, like I said, Eden Rock. at least the same style of fragrance. I'm not saying that they're one to one exactly the same, but they have that same blueprint of that minerally type of aquatic feel.
What I do? Do I take a bath in it? I think you put that. That shit stink. It do. That shit don't smell good at all. That, that one ain't it. She should sent you a different one. Oh, is she on there? Oh, I'm so sorry. It smells good. I actually like it.
I don't like it. I mean, I don't like it for me. I like it for someone else. If you're around me, just don't wear this fragrance. I have to say it's nice. It's a very refreshing, clean scent. I think a lot of people will probably like this one. The thing is, it kind of also gives room spray type of vibes, or it kind of gives, I don't know. I don't know what it's giving, but it's definitely giving tonic water or a tonic. Have you ever ordered a cocktail and it's tonic water with something else? That's what this fragrance smells like, especially if it has like a lemon slice or an orange slice by the beach. I can see where the inspiration for this fragrance comes in, but it's just not one that I would pick, especially for the price point. I believe these are $285 for a 100 ml bottle. So they're up there in price. Alberto Morias, I'm sure, has some other really great fragrances in this range, but this one is just it's not a purchase for me. Let's try one where I'll be positive. Oh, here. You can tell I actually liked it because it's almost gone and completely empty. This is Tygar from the La Gems collection by Bvlgari. Really nice fragrance. Jacques Cavalier is a perfumer for this fragrance. I'm a big fan of his work. I think he did a really good job. This is an overly hyped fragrance, but I think it's overly hyped for the right reasons because it's fresh, it's clean, it's very likable as well, but it adds a little bit of that je ne sais quoi to where a very likable fresh scent, which typically tends to have no character, they tend to be very, generic, and they all tend to smell like each other. This fragrance adds a little bit of that something something, if you know what I mean, to really give you a little bit more of that luxuriousness type of feel that, is obviously going to come with that price point that you're paying for the Le Gems collection. So I do think that this one's worth it. Longevity, at least from whenever I tested it, not the best, but that could be, just a me thing. Obviously, fragrances wear differently on every single person. On me, it didn't wear very well, but the fragrance just was delish. We have here, it's a little pink one. This is the Eau de Parfum Irresistible by Givenchy. So I did do notes on this one as well. When you first spray this, it gives you hairspray vibes or body spray vibes. Now, it's very interesting because as it dries down, you start to get the character of the fragrance. You start to get the real version of this fragrance that's going to really linger on and give you that luxury feel. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, minus the peonies and minus the pepper, and just keeping that same, vision and that style of that fragrance alive, which is a floral, fresh, happy fragrance. And it's also romantic at the same time. This is what this fragrance is giving. Irresistible by Givenchy. I do have to say, we probably don't hear about this fragrance quite as much for one reason. The bottle's ugly. The marketing for it sucks. But I do think that this is a fragrance that people are sleeping on. If you are looking for a mainstream designer fragrance that's going to be very wearable, very versatile, that you can wear to the office, on vacation, to the nightclub, and just have a one and done type of fragrance, then Irresistible by Givenchy is probably the one for you if you are a girl. I mean, I guess it could work for men too. It's more leaning on that floral touch, which is a very delicate floral at that. So it's going to be, not as open to being a men's fragrance, if you will. But I mean, if you want to layer with something else, I mean, who cares? I'm not sure who said that florals were just for women, but it is what it is. I do recommend Irresistible by Givenchy. So what do you think of these type of videos? I mean, it's fun to test out different fragrances and just do a quick round of fragrances. So Let me know down in the comments if you like this style of fragrance. If you don't, let me know also. I mean, I would really love to hear your opinion. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more fragrance related content. Until next time, you guys, take care.